then it was like, whatever you need from us. Farm workers feed the world. No human being is illegal. No human being is illegal.
Stop the immigration raid! Stop the immigration raid! Stop the immigration raid! Stop the immigration raid! Stop the immigration raid!
Stop the immigration raid!
Stop the immigration raid! Stop the immigration raid! And many religious faiths support that. Radical hospitality, welcoming the stranger. And that's why we are here, because our welcome to our brothers and sisters has not been so welcoming. And that needs to change. Our policies have been hypocritical. So let us start especially for the most vulnerable in society. Our scriptures tell us of God's special concern for the alien or the stranger, or as more contemporary translations say, the immigrant.
For the Lord our God is God of gods and Lord of lords, the great God, almighty and awesome, who shows no partiality and accepts no bribe. God defends the cause of the orphan and the widow and loves the immigrant, keeping the immigrant food and clothing. And we are to love those who are immigrants, for God's people are immigrants in Egypt.
We ask God to open our eyes for those
We must not take advantage of a hired worker who is poor in need, whether the worker is a resident or immigrant living in our town. We must pay the worker the wages promptly because the worker is poor and counting on it.
Next one. God's desire is that those who build houses may live in them.
And that those who plant may eat.
And yet, we do not know that this is not possible for many in our midst.
We know our hard workers without families, construction workers who have no homes, nursing home workers who have no health care, restaurant workers who have not afforded a meal in a restaurant.
We know that too many workers among us are not receiving the fruits of their labor, nor the justice required by the court.
God charges our judges to bear his abuse and judge fairly, whether the case involves citizens or immigrants.
But our laws do not adequately protect immigrants. Our legal and social service programs exclude many immigrants. Our education programs undervalue immigrant children.
God tells us that the community is to have the same rules for citizens and for immigrants living among us. This is a lasting ordinance for the generations to come. Citizens and immigrants shall be saved for the Lord.
Hospitality that we are trying to create in our community. He's called from a woman who American citizen who is 8 months pregnant. Who has 2 children under 3 years old. Those children, and she is scheduled next month for a C-section. Her husband, who is from Honduras, is sitting in the table
And by that criteria, we've done an awful job in the society, especially under this administration. Immigrants' rights is just the whole part of the whole tapestry of injustices that have been perpetrated against the poorest and the weakest in this society. And we need to make a stand. We need to stop this before we lose our soul as a country. That's why I'm here.
Todos Latinos, todos Latinos, todos family unity. We want workers' rights. We want compassion. We want adoption. We want to make jobs. Our work policy and our immigration policy are fair and just and humane and rational. Any other statements or prayers?
Yes, I would like to say why I'm here. I'm the proud daughter of an immigrant. My father's from Korea. Immigrants are the strength of this country. I'm also here because when I traveled to Mexico to work, I stayed with a family in the country, very poor family. They gave me their only bed. They slept in an open kitchen. They fed me 4 times a day. They had never met me before that. Every time I've gone to Mexico, I've experienced the same thing. The kindness, the generosity, the openness, the caring of the Mexican people. When a Mexican worker comes here, he leaves his family, his community, his church, his children, his language, his culture, everything. Many people risk their lives. I know people who have lost their brothers, their friends in the desert to get here, to do the work that many people here refuse to do. They do valuable work. If it weren't for them, we wouldn't even be able to buy vegetables. They come here risking their lives and everything. And instead of welcoming them, instead of supporting them, instead of at the very least leaving them alone, they're persecuted. They're not allowed to work in peace. They're given inadequate housing. I personally know people who, when their cars rolled over into a ditch, they're so terrified that, disoriented as they are, they feel like they have to run. They're afraid to go to the doctor. They're afraid to go to the church. They're afraid to go to the store. These are basic rights. Nobody has the right to take this away from any other human being. You have the right to walk in the street unmolested. You have the right to worship where you want to. You have the right to go buy food. This is unacceptable, and the racial profiling of the Hispanic community must stop. And if citizens who are concerned don't do something, it's going to go further and further and further. And it has to stop now. It's unacceptable, and it must stop. Thank you.
No more ice raids.
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 No more
See the world.
Feed the world!